Hi, my name is Stuart, and this is an introductory video to my video blog where I speak about my own and my family's experiences of having somebody who likely has a narcissistic personality disorder. And I say the word likely because one, it's likely he hasn't got a diagnosis, nor will it be likely that he will go and get a diagnosis, because that's quite rare for them to admit that they've got a condition like that. And two, I'm not a qualified professional and to be able to diagnose him. So yeah, I have to use the word likely. But what I can say is the behaviours that we experience as a family are very consistent with that of somebody who has a narcissistic personality disorder. And I can talk about all those behaviours that we experience, and a lot of the videos are going to be discussing what those behaviours and various kind of themes at under 5 minutes. And one thing it's probably important to mention as well, I'm not going to stigmatise people with narcissism or narcissistic personality disorders. People familiar with the subject or have had one in their lives will know that there is a lot of content out there that stigmatises them. But I think it's important to remember actually that people with narcissistic personality disorder didn't actually ask to be that way. And so I have learned that actually quite a lot of compassion needs to be shown towards them. And that has actually helped me heal throughout this process and kind of accept it. Because one thing that I try to make the comparison with, although this is completely different. Let's take, for example, people with Alzheimer's, and they forget your name, and it's a close family name, but you don't hold that against them, do you? You hold it against the disease which has grappled them. In a kind of similar way, I now think about the narcissistic personality disorder of that person, the things that he's done to us and the damage, both emotionally, psychologically, and historically, physically. I don't hold that against him personally. I hold it against the disorder that made him act in a very unusual and unhealthy way. And for people that are grappling with having or accepting or finding out that they've had someone in their lives that has genuine narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder, I think my tip would be to learn this kind of acceptance. That it's not them, it's the disorder, and I promise you things do get better. And now lastly, I will say that the person that I am going to be talking about, and I'm not going to name him, is my father. And myself and my siblings, we do really struggle with calling him our father or dad, because as you'll learn, a lot of his actions made him unworthy of that name. You have to excuse me. I'm getting quite sweaty and hot because I'm just at the end of a walk. But and yeah, the reason why he's not in our lives anymore is we uncovered an affair. It was very calculated. Essentially, he was trying to control and coerce my mother into a separation and make this separation her fault, when all the while he had been nurturing an affair with his ex-secretary from the 80s. We also started to accept and understand that his behaviour was very narcissistic, and we started to kind of look into the past and the things that we experienced, where it felt like we were treading on eggshells, and realising that he was very emotionally, psychologically, and historically, physically abusive. And again, that was quite traumatic to accept that. But then also lastly, which I am going to be speaking about, another thing that we discovered was DNA paternity tests concealed in the garage when he ran away to Spain to see his ex-secretary. So yeah, all the details I'll be sharing of the traumatic findings, the things that he did, but also the traumatic getting to grips of his behaviour and what had happened in the past. And there is going to be a lot of revelations in this video blog. I'm going to be making lots of comparison to behaviours that are narcissistic, and feel free to, in the comment section, to agree or disagree or talk about them a bit more. I'm completely open to kind of debates on that matter. But then also the final reason why I'm doing this is we're aware that he is telling lies about his situation. He's smearing us. There's this very common saying in the literature: when a narcissist can no longer control you, they'll then control how other people see you. And so another reason why I'm doing this blog is to make sure that the reputation of my family is upheld and we get a chance to tell our side of the story. That's all.